What the Bible really says about becoming rich. What if I told you, the Bible actually talks a lot about wealth? Not just about money, but about how people built it, how they lost it, and how they used it. And some of the richest people in history appear in its pages. But the real question is, does the Bible teach you how to become wealthy? Let's start with one of the richest men who ever lived. His name was King Solomon. Solomon ruled Israel around 3,000 years ago. According to the Bible, his wealth was so great that silver became almost worthless in his kingdom. Ships brought him gold, ivory, apes, and peacocks from distant lands. But here's the surprising part. When God appeared to Solomon, he didn't ask for riches. Instead, Solomon asked for wisdom. And that changed everything. God answered him with wisdom, and then wealth followed. The Bible describes this moment in 1 Kings, where God says that because Solomon asked for wisdom rather than riches, he would receive both. So the first lesson the Bible gives about wealth is simple: wisdom comes before riches. Now let's look at another incredibly wealthy person. His name was Abraham. Abraham started as a traveler, leaving his homeland with nothing but faith. Yet the Bible later describes him as very rich in livestock, silver, and gold. His wealth didn't come from luck. It came from discipline, leadership, and long-term faith. In fact, in the book of Genesis, Abraham builds alliances, manages large households, and leads hundreds of people. In modern terms, he was running something like a massive business operation. But the Bible also gives a warning. One of the most famous lines appears in 1 Timothy. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Notice it doesn't say money is evil. It says the love of money is. So the Bible never condemns wealth itself. But it constantly reminds people not to make money their master. Another fascinating example is Lydia of Thyatira. She appears in Acts of the Apostles and was a merchant who sold purple cloth, one of the most expensive luxury products in the ancient world. Purple dye was so rare that it was often reserved for royalty. This means Lydia was likely a very successful entrepreneur. She owned her own house, ran an international trade business, and even hosted early Christian leaders like Paul the Apostle. A self-made businesswoman in the 1st century. So what pattern do we see in these stories? The Bible repeats the same 3 principles again and again. First, seek wisdom before wealth. Second, work faithfully and manage what you have well. And third, use wealth to help others, not just yourself. There's even a powerful teaching from Jesus Christ in Gospel of Luke: whoever can be trusted with little can also be trusted with much. In other words, greatness, and even wealth, often starts with small responsibilities handled well. So the Bible's message about becoming rich isn't about secret formulas or overnight success. It's about wisdom, discipline, generosity, and purpose. And according to the Bible, when those come first, prosperity sometimes follows. But the real treasure is the kind of life that wealth alone can never buy. And maybe that's the most powerful lesson hidden in its pages.